This is the Paltalk News Network.
The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users on demand on iTunes and on YouTube and on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you're encouraged to post your comments, whether you agree with yours truly or not. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated to an additional 12 million households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. I welcome you to the show. I hope you all had a great weekend. Those of you who got trapped in the nor'easter, wasn't that something? If you go to the website, paltalknewsnetwork.com, you'll see what I say is probably the best picture I've ever taken, a beautiful shot of the aftermath of the nor'easter. I'm pretty proud of it. A lot of other stuff on there as well, including a story about President Obama saying that Washington is no longer spending money like it's monopoly money. I've got a story there about Jimmy Carter, who is asking forgiveness from Jews for anything he may have said unfair about the state of Israel. And Glenn Beck has been named Misinformer of the Year by the left-wing media advocacy organization Media Matters for America. Yeah, all the news you need to know right there at paltalknewsnetwork.com. Before we get to our guest, I just want to remind you that in the new year, my first guest on the Make It Pro TV show on Paltalk, and then that will be on January 7th at 8 o'clock, is USA softball pitching legend and Olympic gold medalist Michelle Granger. You want to be there for that show, and you want to register as well in order to be eligible to win some real nifty gifts, including a premium nickname on Paltalk. Go there now, makeitpro.com/TV, and register for free. And put yourself in the running for a Paltalk nickname or a very nifty limited edition Make It Pro t-shirt. You know, we just had the Nobel Peace Prize and the other Nobel Prize ceremonies in Sweden. And a lot of attention was put on the fact that Barack Obama got the Peace Prize in anticipation of him working for peace, and then he went and he decided to expand the prosecution of the war in Afghanistan, and there's all big debate about whether he is deserving or not. And we focus so much on the politics of the situation that the pomp and circumstance of the ceremony kind of got lost in the wash. Joining us today is Anita Laughlin. She is author of Reindeer with King Gustaf. She is the wife of Stanford University physics professor and 1998 Nobel Physics Prize winner Robert Laughlin. In her new book, she recounts in warm detail the magic, the pageantry, and the old-world charm of the Nobel Prize ceremonies in Stockholm. Anita Laughlin, welcome to News Talk Online on the Paltalk News Network.
Thanks, Gary. It's nice to be here.
Great to have you. Is it true that you actually sat down and, dare I ask you this, on the eve of Christmas Eve, and not only broke bread but shared reindeer with the King of Sweden?
Yes, I did. I found myself surprised. They didn't tell us ahead of time who we were sitting with, and when we got to the royal palace, I was told to get to the head of the line, and the king would take me personally in and sit me down, and I was seated to his right for the royal banquet at the palace. So it was a pretty awesome experience, actually.
How did you get selected? Although I already could tell from the beginning of this interview, you're an extremely charming woman. But how was it that you were selected to go to the head of the line? Usually, when I want the head of the line, I got to run over somebody to get there.
I can only guess, and my best guess is that Alfred Nobel felt that the theoretical physics prize was sort of the top prize. And so the wives of theorists or spouses of the theorists who win often get to sit next to the king or the queen. That's my best guess. I was to his right, and one of the medicine winners' wives was to his left. And but I think they consider the physics prize kind of the most difficult, so that's sort of why it's at the top there. That's my guess, anyway.
Well, I was told from a source that the king kind of enjoys surrounding himself with smart, articulate, charming, beautiful women. So that might be the reason, too. You never know, right?
I don't know about that at all. My hairstyle was awfully peculiar. I'm sure he did a double take when he looked at me. But, yeah, we were all dressed up and ready to party, and he was actually extremely friendly. He kind of gets bad press for being sort of stiff and sometimes grumpy. But I think most of that is because he doesn't like formal situations very much. He's much happier having dinner with his family at home, than getting all dressed up. So it was actually a pleasure to see that he was as uncomfortable as I was with having to be very formal. So we had a good conversation over about 2 hours. It was wonderful.
How is it in your mind that the physics prize, which clearly was supposed to be the creme de la creme, gets overshadowed so much with talk about the Peace Prize?
With the Obama talking?
No, I mean in general. We'll get to Obama specifically, but I mean the Peace Prize is the one that gets all the attention.
Yes. This is a great
Physics Prize and some of the others are really based on research that moves humankind forward, and very important research indeed. The Peace Prize is more a political decision and less one that's based on anything that's actually measurable this year in particular. How has that happened over the years that the Peace Prize has become?
That is a fantastic question, and I wondered about it myself. I found out that the Peace Prize is actually determined by a committee of 5 people that the Parliament of Norway elects. And this was what Alfred Nobel